I get it. You feel the world owes you and you're going to show everyone to be richer and more beautiful than I get the psychology behind it, but no,
I mean,
no.
I even understand it as a defense where she's like, you know, she obviously gets too angry. She has anger issues, like whatever. That line of logic makes sense. Like, you know, I had to fight back my whole childhood, you know, against bullies, like, sure. But then the idea that like she's literally being prosecuted by the government for scamming people, and we need to now feel bad for her because, you know, like that doesn't excuse it, in my opinion.
No, it doesn't excuse it. I do think it's more interesting. Like I had Meredith here. I agree with you. I think it's more interesting what's playing out now. I've known Meredith from before Housewives, and I'm here for it. Like I'm shocked. Look, Meredith is, I mean, you've heard her, you've seen her. She's media savvy. So
yeah,
I'm shocked that Meredith is even going there. Like Meredith has said way more than I would have ever thought she would have said, you know, just because she's media savvy but she's speaking out she's not doing it for press. Like she's giving her real opinion on Jen. She's kind of like the Sutton of Salt Lake this season. Oh yeah.
I mean, so here's my question for you. Lauren and I talked about this a little bit when the episode aired, but do you think that Meredith knew? Because Lauren and I found Meredith's reaction to the girls calling her and saying, have you been checking your phone? Did you see what happened with Jen, you know, when she got arrested? We found her response to be a little bit cavalier or just like a little too cool. So I just wonder, like, did Meredith know? Did she have any connection to Jen getting arrested? What do you think?
I mean, look, I asked her when she was here, you know, point blank, like, did you call the feds? And I mean, look, Meredith is fun. She's coy. She gives her answers. You know, it gets picked up in the press. But so you have to listen to the episode. It's really good. But I don't think she called the feds. No, but I don't know if she knew. I just think it's like Heather Gay said on Watch What Happens. Like they all kind of knew something was amiss, right?
Yeah.
Something. And I don't know. It's just like, right. It's just.
And I know we were talking about how Heather Dubrow's money doesn't add up. Like Jen Shah's money never added up, even slightly. So, you know, I mean, even her fake little office, maybe it wasn't fake, but that little office, I don't know if you remember that scene where she was like scribbling in some notebook from Home Goods, like girl boss notebook. Like it was just that whole thing. I'm like, real business does not happen in this office. I hate to say it, but I know I work in corporate America. This is not where real business goes down.
No, that I knew. Yeah, I mean, like, so I guess I never, like, we didn't have enough time to really think about it. But yes, like, it was the whole, like, a coach can't make this. And I don't know. I even asked Dana, like, what did you learn from this? I mean, I still don't think that I don't think Jen Shah understands what's really going on. Like, I understand you could have the defense of, like, I just handed over the leads, period. I mean, that's not my problem that you decided to, you know, I gave you the leads. I get what the defense is, but I mean, I still don't think she understands the gravity of her situation. I mean, her social media behavior is different than Erica's, but not much better. She's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Again, if I were being investigated by the feds, it's just like at some point you have to be like, I need to put earning, you know, whatever it is, $200,000 from social posts aside, because first I need to be free. Once I'm free, I'll be back and I want to do this and I need to make money. But it's kind of like, I'm sorry, you can't make your social media money, but you just can't, because you got to worry about walking around free. Because this is real jail time, like real.
Well, Lauren, weren't you saying that like the potential for her jail time is like really long? Like David, you're a lawyer, you know, like she could go away for a while. This isn't Teresa a year type of thing, right?
It's like, it's real. Yes.
Yeah. What did you think? Oh, go ahead, Laura.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think I was listening to another podcast where there was an attorney who was an expert on these kind of crimes on it. And he basically said that, you know, she actually might be looking like, you know, a decade or 2 decades in prison for this. And so, because I think initially we thought this would be more of a Teresa Giudice situation, but it's absolutely not. I think that Jen Shah is a narcissist and really enjoys being in the spotlight, doesn't care if she's famous or infamous, as long as people are thinking about her and looking at her.
Well,
and so,
No, I was going to say thank you, because that's another thing. When Dana was here, she gasped when I asked her this. It's like, I asked her, like, do you think, she couldn't believe my question. Like, do you think Jen Shah is happy that this happens? I stand by that question.
Right. Because she's now the center of the show.
And what I'll just say is that in the episode from last week, or maybe the week before, when she goes to her attorney the day after she's arrested, I don't want to judge anyone's grief or what they look like in these moments, but here I go. She did not seem that forlorn after she'd been arrested. Like, and maybe it just seemed like she was playing it up a lot for the camera. Like when she was debriefing with that attorney, it just kind of seemed like, I don't know, it felt like she was having another like great on-scene moment. It didn't feel like she was like somebody who was just, facing 10 years in prison, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way to me. It really doesn't. And if you are a true narcissist, then you love this. Like, you love the attorney meeting. Yeah. I mean, also, like, not for nothing, why I would be like, you can go fuck yourself, Bravo. Like, you're not coming into my like attorney's office. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's all great until like you really might go away. And then it's like, the only thing I would be thinking about in life is like, how do I mitigate the number of years I'm going to be behind bars? And then I'll worry about being famous and being on a TV show and making money on social media.
Yeah.
Well, I think like, I personally felt like part 4 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion actually was quite vindicating for Erica. Like, as much as people love to hate her, it was clear to me that she did not know that Tom was engaging in these activities. I believed her when she said that she would not be on reality television. When she and Lisa Rinna had that moment where they're like, I wouldn't be doing the show if I knew this was happening. I think it's literally the exact opposite for Jen Shah. Not only did she know what was happening, she was allegedly doing the crime. She was a co-conspirator of the highest degree. And she was actually the one who is guilty and hurting other people. And then she also is starring in a show at the same time. Like, it's so interesting.
A huge part of her storyline was being this mogul who has this huge business and her assistants. And, if you were a person who didn't know you were committing illegal activity, I don't think that you would be putting, I don't know. I wouldn't be at that would not be the forefront of my storyline.
No, not at all. So I agree. I don't think that this Housewife and Shah Shocker was that dramatic. Who do you think will be the next one?
Who do I think will be the next? What do you mean?
Like, because you know what I think they're going to try to do next? I wonder, like, I think they're going to keep this going. I wonder if they're going to do like,
the next documentary,
like Mary Cosby.
Ooh.
Like, I mean, not that she's done anything wrong, but I think maybe you can investigate her. I think if the ratings on this are good, they're going to start broadening the scope. It doesn't have to just be like arrested. It could be like scandal.
Well, I mean, there's so much with Mary Cosby. I feel like we've just barely scratched the surface with her entire life and story.
Yes, and yes. Okay, let's talk. Anything else you want to say about this before girls trip? I mean, I guess the bottom line is we don't really care about the Jen Shah thing as much as this is what I said. I thought maybe as the time went on, like people would get more, but like nobody seems to care.
I just think that
one thing I want to. Oh, go ahead.
I'll just say, I think that the episode where Jen is arrested and that fallout, I think that just kind of like. Excuse this expression, but it kind of popped our cherry. And I just think that you couldn't recreate that level of drama and just like shock in another docuseries unless they had some crazy new information, which it just didn't have.
Yes, I agree. Should we? Yeah.
Oh no. Let's move on.